Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Bruno, Texas. And today's report is for March the 4th, 2026 through March the 10th, 2026. And as usual, our closest star in the Star Report is the sun. And it's been super quiet. So when the sun is super quiet, sometimes that makes you feeling low energy, uninspired, or sometimes things take an effort because we are solar powered people. Um, and so it is actually quiet because it is winding down from this cycle, but also we are at the downward arc of solar maximum. So pay attention to that. There should be a slight increase in plasma current from a coronal hole, but it's a small coronal hole, so won't have that big of a shift. But pay attention to that be happening to that happening over the next couple of days. Probably really won't feel it till Thursday, Friday. And of course, that's a little bit of compression, right? But it is energy. Sometimes that compression triggers a tectonic plate movement, right? So if you live on a fault line or somewhere near earthquakes or traveling there, probably don't, or at least pay attention when you do to how earthquakes are received in the area you're going. Leads us into today's zodiac, which has also been yesterday's zodiac. We are currently in Pisces, and alchemically, as the zodiac moves around, it goes down the body. We are currently at the end. We're at the feet. And so Pisces is going to be around the feet or borders, right? So sometimes that could be some skin issues too. And so that could be tingly feet, energetic feet, painful feet. Just sort of know that that's where the energy is sort of gathering in the body, right? So that could be your connection to grounding. That can be your liftoff. That could be your mobility. Just sort of pay attention to things associated with feet. Synchronicity sort of pop up too, like, oh yeah, I watched a video about. Of course, if you're listening to this, your computer's going to hear you talking about feet and show you videos about feet. So mind the algorithm. Also, we are currently into retrogrades. One reaching its end by the end of this week's report, or at least starting to reach its end, and that is Jupiter. Jupiter expansion, finances, big planet, lots of energy in retrograde, been helping us stir up what is our large energy, what is our bigger purpose, how can we expand our abundance, our finance. And so sometimes that's not necessarily just about money, but sometimes that could be influence and effectiveness on the work that we're doing and the people we're around. So that's cool. Currently also in Mercury retrograde, travel, communication, always a little sketchy during Mercury retrograde. And then, of course, the typical stuff of old relationships or old habits come up like, hey, remember that habit you had? You want it? So pay attention to that energy, which leads us to today, Wednesday, the 4th of March. January, February, March. I keep looking at 3-4 going, what month is the third month? March. We are currently, the eclipse doorway is closed. And so the next 2 weeks of post eclipse doorway is really going to be spent integrating, which means action, taking action on the changes over the next 2 weeks. Taking action upon who you are today, right? What did this shift you into? What is your idea of you now? Not as, how do I use this extra energy to expand who I was, but who am I? Who am I being now? And then what does that sort of look like if this new me moves forward? And that could be all kinds of things. That could be new locations, that could be new jobs, that could be new relationships. But who's the new you? And how are you going to be taking action on expanding that to be the case? Right. And so sometimes that involves leaving old lives behind or old ways behind. Sometimes scary, right? And especially with all the energy shifts that have happened and the hesitancy of, are you making accurate decisions because you don't know if the world is going to be the way the world is, the way you, anyway. Yeah. So all those things could be like, oh no, what's happening? Let's see, what else does that do? That leads us to Tuesday, the 5th of March. And really, that's going to be about Venus becoming influential over the 2-week post eclipse period. It's really going to be helping us make heart inspired changes, right? So, this is going to be, your authenticity is usually found in the heart chakra, sort of saved there as this is who I authentically am. This is who I think I should be, so this authenticity is going to be inspired by Venus. And it's actually going to help illuminate your higher path, right? So when our highest path is illuminated, that's nice. Like, oh, look, there's the path. Sometimes that path still involves climbing and effort, right? Just because you can see where you're going doesn't mean that you get there. This isn't about teleportation. This is about moving through the paces to get to that location where you're going and taking it one step at a time, really being in the now, right? And that's sort of easy to do, right? Sometimes we're in the way the world's shifting, we're in a hurry to do things, but when we're in our authenticity, right, that sort of stretches time. Anybody who's been enjoying time, like, oh my God, I can't believe it's 2 hours, is that's the kind of energy that Venus is going to bring to the shift. So pay attention to that. Is that everything I wrote for that? That is everything I wrote for Tuesday. Uh, excuse me, Thursday. Did I say Tuesday? I meant Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday's after Wednesday. Anyway, moves us into Friday then, the 6th of March. And Venus um, into Aries on that day, on Friday, really helps you. What the heck did I write? Oh, there we go. It really sort of, you see the wisdom of being yourself and not being something other than your true self, right? So this is sort of like, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to be. This is the path I'm moving on kind of energy. The distance between inspiration and action become closer, right? So it's an inspire, it's inspiration causes an idea, idea causes a path of action, and then that action happens, right? So those, a lot of times, maybe I'm just talking about myself. A lot of times you like to like meditate on, oh my God, that's great inspiration. Maybe I'll think about an idea to do something with that inspiration, and then you'll have that inspiration. You're like, oh, well, which idea is the best, or which action is right? Probably the first action, right? So this is going to close that gap, so you're not dilly dallying. Sounds like my high school football coach. Quit dilly dallying around court hour. I'm just all kinds of alive today. Leads us into Saturday, the 7th of March. Mercury and the Sun are really going to be holding a lot of influence. And that influence is really going to be about integration of all this energy shift into the physical form. And sometimes, you know, your body needs to be something different, or hold the energy different, or move the energy different through, or it's released some of the energy it was holding for old things, and that goes away. So when we have physical energy shifts, sometimes that's called spiritual flu. Um, so the idea or the prescription for Saturday is probably find a little bit of time to rest or sort of pamper the body. Warm showers, um, pain medicine. Just sort of go slow, because sometimes that does lead to that spiritual flu. And spiritual flu is really just sort of, it feels to me when I have spiritual flu like an allergic reaction. All of a sudden, the body vibrates in a different way, and then that uh, causes the lymphatic system to excrete, right? And a lot of times that's just mucus and a little bit of pain and stuffiness, sometimes some joint pain when that happens. Extra water and rest is what I recommend. But do what you usually do to get through stuff like that. Because you are in charge, you are authentic, you have your own power. But somebody who wields all this power, that's how I sort of experience it, right? And so I never think of myself as sick, right? Get out of your head. I think of myself as shifting, and then depending on how intense the pain and mucus and reaction is how much I'm changing. So it's just something to sort of help you guide yourself through there. Well, yeah, that's Saturday. So it's like a great Saturday. Can't wait. I'll be at the shop on Saturday, so you can come by and tell me all about it. Leads us to Sunday, the 8th of March. Venus and Saturn are going to be aligning to reorder and reorient you toward the upper chakras, right? So Saturday is all this bodily stuff like, oh my God, how does this physical form be, whatever. This really starts to align you with, I would say higher mind, but really more spiritual stuff, so that you're inspired by not the news of the day or the fear of the day, but you are inspired by what you're creating, right? And then it's that sort of discipline to understand that there can be a spiritual world that is unlike the physical world and the news that is happening in it. So pay attention to that energy on Sunday. What else? Yeah, so more of a spiritual template to sort of work through. So I guess the advice is don't let the Armageddon of what you thought the world was and its collapse, or the naivete of what you saw the world and how it looks currently. Don't let that Armageddon divert your path of the spiritual creation. Right? Sometimes it's overwhelming. Like, hey, we only got one little lamp, and that's a whole bunch of darkness or things that need light. So yeah, just pay attention to Sunday. That you'll be sort of tempted to go, but Armageddon, I can't change. Don't listen to yourself. Listen to your upper chakras. Be quiet and listen to spirit. Yeah. Leads us to Monday, the 9th of March, 2026. And that it begins. I guess Sunday could be that too. But anyway, Monday is usually when we start our work week. Is the 11th week of the year. And it highlights how your spiritual alignment, that's a better word. I guess it could be your spiritual alliances. Who are you working with? Is it the angels? Is it the aliens? Is it your psyche? What are you working with? Anyway, the 11th week is really highlighting how your alignment to that higher self, to your divine template, can actually serve the world this time. That's what's that 70 song? What the world needs now is love and or your spiritual alignment. Yeah. So that's Monday the 9th. Leads us into Tuesday, the 10th of March, the last day of this report for this week. And that is, let's see. Yeah. So the 10th is really Jupiter stations and prepares to go direct. So it'll start to move direct over 24 to 36 hours. All right. So probably into Wednesday of that week. And the moon is also in its closest approach all month. And then so you have that sort of super expansive energy into the lunar energy, which is usually our emotions, our hidden thoughts, stuff beneath the surface, starts to be drawn out, especially when the moon is close. And so that's going to lead to high emotions. So I won't say you're going to be a basket case on Tuesday, but sort of pay attention that your emotions will be high. And especially if you're interacting with people and you have high emotions, sometimes that causes conflict. But those high emotions are actually sort of primers, right? So if this new expansive energy of Jupiter is going to be moving through us, right, then we have these high emotional things, right? So that's going to, it could, if you allow it, it could expand your capacity to have more energy in the field or in your body or moving through the body, right? We don't want to have any sort of stuckness and just pop. We want to be able to have, it's kind of like adding a higher amperage of electricity to a house, right? This expansion or this overwhelm of energy on Tuesday is really to sort of prepare you that there is more energy incoming from the cosmos to the planet, which means to you. So when you sort of find that alignment or that expansion of that overwhelming emotion, then that's going to be the sort of feeling of the day of I feel tired or overwhelmed or anxious. But that's really sort of, hey, how much higher of a current of spiritual energy, cosmic energy moving through you can you hold and be comfortable with? So pay attention to that on Tuesday. That's everything for the report. Should be here all week. Sorry I missed some of y'all last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was out of town doing some stuff and some things, which may come up in next week's report. So yeah, blah, 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 blah. I think that's everything. Yeah, so I'll be here, newdimensionscrystals.com, 221 East Main Street. If you want to come by and see me in downtown Burnham, next to KTX 106, the radio station. And as I find the button, I will say, thanks for joining me, everybody. I enjoy giving you this report, and it's been a pleasure. Until next time, everybody, many blessings.